it. Mary BabersGreen is on the air on the morning roast for the first time. The mother of Draymond Green. She's a 3-time champ as well. We know her on Twitter. It's been too long. It's been too long. Mary, good morning. Joe Shaskin, the Butcher, Bonte Hill. What is up, Mary?
Good morning.
You've been avoiding me, man. I don't see you on Twitter no more. I don't see you at the games no more. You should do so many videos. You've been hiding in the cut, chilling, but now the Warriors are back in the finals. How you feeling, man? I know you're ready to empty off the clip if they win this championship.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Ready to, like you just said, empty the clip. I'm ready.
All right, take me back to the beginning, because we'll get into the current stuff, but I've never had a chance to ask you this, and I've been dying to ask you this one. Take me back to youth ball, CYO, Park and Rec. I don't know what it was called back in Michigan where Draymond played, but what was it like when he got his first technical or ejection back when he was like 8 years old? Take me back to that moment.
Let's see, the first one that I could probably remember, I think he was playing for YBL. I think it was called YBL then. And he got thrown out of a game for trash talking. Well, he was actually trash talking with the coach.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was bad. But
what did you do? Because you would check Day when he was young. What did you do after that first tech?
Well, just pulled him to the side. Just had to talk to him. And then I could talk to him. I could talk to him, get his head right.
You can't talk to him now?
It's a little different now.
I've been waiting for you to go on the Draymond Green Show podcast.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on that with Draymond Green podcasting after certain games?
Oh, he said, no way. He like, no way.
All right. How about what happened in Memphis when he gets booted from Memphis and then turns into like Ric Flair and is firing up the entire crowd? I loved it, quite honestly, and I thought it was great. What'd you think watching it?
It's okay, but the older I get, Dre gives me anxiety. So, but, it's who he is. I'm used to it. It's nothing new. It's who he's been since he was 6 years old. He is the same guy. He's Dre. That's Draymond.
Can you see it coming then, I guess, when he's starting to erupt?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's almost like if he don't think the game is tough enough, he goes into character, I guess.
Mary BabersGreen on the morning roast on 95.7 The Game. Sorry to cut you off there. So you see it coming. What about game 2? Because he came out on fire. Like Draymond, I'm watching. I'm like, Day, relax, man. I mean, he was screening. He was elbowing. He was doing whatever he had to do to get into that mindset there. Did you have a pep talk with Draymond before game 2? And what did you think of his game 2 performance?
Well, I thought he did great to me. It's just, he's physical. It's, we look at basketball, and today they'll say, basketball is soft. But then when you play tough, he's doing this and he's doing that. I thought it was great. I liked it. I'm like, keep doing it. Somebody got to do it.
Somebody does have to do it. And what did you think about the Celtics basically crying after the game, saying, well, he was doing a little too much, but that's Draymond Green. He tried to muck it up. What did you think about the other team crying? You must have got a chuckle out of that.
Yeah, I mean, them crying was just ridiculous because they are supposedly the tough guys. So if you're the tough guys, why are you crying when someone gets tough with you? Just play the game. If we play basketball, then just go ahead and play the game. That's it. Just play the game. However it comes, you have to take it that way. Just play.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And my dad struggles because every now and then he'll see some stuff on social media, somebody hating on me or whatever, and I'm like, Dad, you can't bark at everybody. Just let it go. Hit the mute button. Do you struggle not clapping back at people who are always criticizing your son?
I don't anymore. 3-time champion, twice? Olympic, defensive player of the year. No, nobody has the right. They can say whatever they want. That's an opinion. But the black and white is already written, so I don't say anything anymore. That's why I'm not on Twitter anymore. Because it's I don't clap back at these people.
I know. I was like, what happened to your Twitter feed? Because you used to clap back at everybody.
Yeah.
But as you just said, you had a mic drop. 2 gold medals, DPOY, defensive first teams, defensive second teams, 3 championships, and now he's in his 6th NBA finals in the last 8 years. What did you think about the Warriors 2 years ago when they won 15 games? Are you a little surprised that they've gotten back to this point so quickly?
Well, what I did believe was that if we had our core and just do what we do, put anybody around them, I always thought we could get back to this point. I did believe that. Now, when we were sucking, we were sucking. But I did believe that we could get back because I believed in our guys. Our guys said that we would get back, so that's what we've been believing in all this time. We've been riding with our guys. So I jumped on the bandwagon with the guys, and we're back. So they know a little bit more about the game than I do, so I just trusted them for what they say they could do, and here we go.
What was the biggest moment of doubt for this, just for your son, for the team? Was it the 15-win season? Was it last year? Did you never lose doubt? I'm just curious.
The back injury this year with Draymond?
Did you ever have a low moment?
The back injury was really, I think it was way more than what people really knew. Oh. That was a horror. Oh, man, that was a crazy injury. And it was really scary, but he willed himself back. It was way deeper than what people knew. That's all I could say about it because that's his injury. He could tell that story whenever he gets ready to tell it. But I didn't, what I'm saying? Once he said he would get back, I believed him. Once he said Clay would be okay, I believed him. Once he said Steph was all right, I believed him. I just always believed in our guys. Whatever they say they could do, they've done it. So no need of me to doubt it because they've always done what they say they would do.
Mary BabersGreen on the Morning Russ on 95.7 The Game. Mother of Draymond Green on fire. Well, I used to always see you after the games and do quick videos, and you give us some fire. So it's good to hear from you. What would this championship mean for you personally? Because there's been, as you mentioned, there's been a lot of talk. They break up the Golden State Warriors. They're never going to get back to this point. We know who they are. They shall rename nameless right now. But what would this championship mean for you? Would this be the most satisfying one for you personally?
I think it would. I think this would be the most satisfying for every Warriors fan on the planet. And it's just because of the things that we've been through. We've been through adversity after adversity after adversity. So if we get through this champions, oh, boy, the Bay is about to erupt. I can't wait. I want to see what happens. I'm here for the long haul, so how many other games it takes to get to this 7, or if we get game 7, if we get to 5, whatever it is, I'm fine. So we'll see what happens.
I know your son's a perfectionist, and he's always trying to improve and get better, and I see him on Twitter, like, people say, I can't shoot, I can't pass. Is there ever a time when you're like, Dre, square up to the hoop and take that mid-range?
Every game. Like, shoot the ball, man. Just shoot the ball. But, hey, his mindset changed. I've seen him evolve as a player to be whatever his team needs him to be. And, even in moments where we doubt it, say Dre can't shoot, then he comes up with a big basket. So it's like, hey, he know the game better than I do, and this is what he plays for. So however he plays the game, I'm okay with it, not absolutely content with it, but I have to ride with him.
What about riding with Andrew Wiggins and Jordan Poole, two guys who haven't been here before? Andrew Wiggins has had a heck of a postseason. Jordan Poole, you saw what he did in game number 2, especially at the end of the third quarter and into the fourth quarter. What about those two young guys coming along for the ride? They look like they've been ready, and it's due to the veterans on his team, not to mention Kevon Looney as well.
Absolutely. See, Andrew Wiggins has become one of my new favorites. And he's just adding a little more dimensions to his game. He's getting getting better. I think it's just with his confidence. Mm-hmm. Confidence is high now. He realized that he's always been this great player, but now he's becoming, somebody else. He's becoming a warrior now. So being a warrior, I guess, is different for him, and he's really evolving. Kevon, we knew what he could always do. Just his injuries had, stopped him from being Kevon. Now he's into his own. And Jordan Poole, I'm so with Jordan Poole, but being that we had, 2 Splash Brothers before him, he got to come on and bring a little bit more. We need a little bit more from Jordan.
Yeah, I feel you there. He got to take a little bit. Oh, that's my bad. It takes a certain kind of a person to coach your son. He's so high-level IQ on the court, right, that I think at times he does get frustrated with people that don't think cerebrally the way he does about the game. What's something about his relationship with Steve Kerr that maybe the average fan doesn't see?
I don't know. That one is mind-boggling for me because some days it's just like they're best friends. The next day, they're like two, enemies. So I don't know. The relationship between Dre and Steve, that's Dre's and Steve's relationship. I can't call that one.
Wow. Well, it is hot and cold. So the stories are true about Oklahoma City way back when they were ready to fight each other. Love-hate relationship. We all have it. Yeah. Chasky and I have it.
Yeah, he wants to kill me 3 times a week.
Yeah, I mean, Dre is that same way with every coach he's had. They love him, but he's one of those people that you love to hate. So, hey, it goes that way with no matter who the person is, you know?
So how did Tom Izzo get through 4 years at Michigan State with Draymond Green? Because Tom Izzo still comes by Chase Center and hugs Draymond Green like no other.
He does exactly the way Steve does. It'll be the same relationship. You're going to love the guy. You got to love him for everything that he takes and does, you know. But it's just one of those things. It's like, okay, if you don't let me be the coach, you know, so where you have to grit your teeth and, you know, bear with it. But they're fine.
Mama Green, we love you keeping it a buck with us here on the Morning Rush on 95.7 The Game. Mary BabersGreen, how about your son evolving as a father? That must make you feel really, really special seeing Draymond become a great father, bringing Dre Jr. around the team and stuff like that. How's that been for you?
It's really great. Last night, real quick story, DJ outside, we outside the hotel, and the fans like, hey, DJ, you know, everybody calling his name, and he go, Gigi, I gotta get outside. They want my autograph. If you don't get in here and sit down. DJ was on his way outside getting him signing some autographs. And Dre, as a father, he's been great. You know, I'm watching him grow, and he is a great father. You know, he reminds me of my dad a lot. So, of course, my dad was the greatest dad ever to me. So, and I watched Dre walk in his footsteps. So he's doing a great job.
What about his relationship with referees? I mean, we got to get right to this one because it feels like he's always getting tangled up with somebody. He's always barking at the referees. I love him for it, but do you ever say, like, Dre, stop yelling at that official?
Yeah, I do, but you know what I realize when I'm sitting there, it's not really him arguing against the call or anything. What he's doing is having a communicating with the ref. If you do this on one end, you should do it on this end. He's not necessarily barking about the call that pertains to him. It's just things that he see on the court that is not happening on both ends of the court. So he's like, hey, guy, you missed it down here. And as aggressive as Dre is, it makes it look as if he's arguing when all the time it's not an argument. I did notice that. He's just so aggressive in that moment he's in that fiery state, so it looks like he's pounding the ref. That's why a lot of times the refs turn and go the other way. Because it was just dialogue. It was just eat it, you know. But it wasn't nothing against the ref.
No doubt. He's been on fire, Draymond Green. We can't wait for Game 3 tonight, NBA Finals 2022. I had a question for you. It just slipped my mind here.
I got one.
So go ahead, because I'm going to get it back.
What's the one technical foul where you were like, yeah, I'm glad he got that one?
I don't be glad for any technical.
That's what I wanted to ask you. Your thoughts on Barkley, Charles Barkley, TNT, Draymond's co-worker, trying to clown Draymond Green.
For that job.
And Charles Barkley just crapping on the city of San Francisco. What's your thoughts on Charles Barkley and the whole TNT shenanigans going on with Draymond and Charles?
Well, I believe it's just what you said, the shenanigans. I believe Charles Barkley has a job to do. You know what I mean? He gets paid to be a heckler, actually. You know, so, hey, if Dre is the one you want to pick on, go ahead and pick on him. But it's always put up that middle finger and say, it's a ring, Chuck. It's a ring. You know, so he can't deny that. He doesn't have a ring, so, hey, whether you were greater or not, it doesn't show. You know what I'm saying? You don't got that ring. That's what they play for. Every NBA player play to get a ring. When you don't get it, people can always say how great you were or wasn't. It is what it is.
What about Kendrick Perkins? Because it feels like every day he tries to go at Dre, and it's just like, come on, man. I don't know. It bugs me because I feel like he's always trying to chip away at Dre, and it's got to bug you, right?
He doesn't really bother me at all. You know what I mean? Because it's like, okay, whatever. So what? Charles Barkley was great. Charles Barkley was one of my favorite players ever. He was a great player. I never even knew who Kendrick Perkins was until recently. So, he never stood out on my radar, so I could care less.
Why does he have a job? Why is he speaking on it? This dude, he didn't do anything with the Boston Celtics, yet he gets this claim to fame for winning the ring with Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, and Ray Allen. Oh, and by the way, Rajon Rondo, that's funny that you didn't know who he was. It must drive you crazy watching those ESPN shows then. Yeah,
it's just like, whatever. Who cares? If that's how he keeps his job, hey, it's all about making his money, so make your money, brother.
As a fan of the NBA, you talked about how you love Charles Barkley. We've been kind of just sitting in the bathwater of Warriors in the finals against the Boston Celtics, and we get Game 3 and Game 4 at the Garden. I mean, just as a fan of the NBA, this has got to be awesome.
It is. It's awesome. I'm looking out the window right now down here in Boston, just looking at the city. It's like, wow, I never knew what Boston looked like. This is my first time here. So I'm excited, I was a fan of the NBA back in the day, so I'm excited to be here.
You'll check in those banners, right? Those banners hanging up at TD Garden, all those retired numbers. Bill Russell, Casey Jones, Larry Bird, Kevin McHale. It's got to be special to see that parquet floor. And the Warriors are in the finals against Boston.
And
your son is out there leading the charge. And he's talking that talk. What do you expect tonight?
I expect it to be a really great game. With all the bantering that's been taking place, I just think it's going to be a really good game. I think everybody be more relaxed. Okay, you cried, we hear you. Now we're just going to go out and play. I think it'll be a really good game.
One last one before you get out. Has Steph and Dre ever had a dust up, like on anything? Playing cards?
Great question.
Golf? I don't know. Have they ever? Because it feels like Steph, nothing bothers him. Dre's all over the place. So, have they ever had any kind of friction over anything? Fantasy football, you name it.
Not that I know of. Even though it seems as if Dre is the more aggressive one, Dre respects Steph so much. It's just that bigger. It's like a bigger brother, little brother relationship.
Mm-hmm.
9 times out of 10, the little brother always running their mouth.
Right.
The big brother gets it. It's cool. Even if you look at Steph and Steph seems like the talker. Steph is not. So it's just that type of thing. That's his little brother. He respects him on that level. This is his big brother. He respects him on that level. It's just that way. I think Dre respects him way too much, more than any. I think the respect is more than anything.
So Dre must want to kill Clay sometimes then, Mama. He must want to kill Clay sometimes when he's chucking some threes here and there. I'm sure Dre and Clay have had some dust-ups.
I don't even think so. I don't think so because, those guys' resume speaks for itself. Mm-hmm. Regardless to if they're having a bad game, it's a bad game.
Right.
Who would expect? Clay has been through an ordeal.
Yeah.
He's still niche. He's still finding his way back. Mm-hmm. And we do know flashes of Clay is greater than a piece of anybody else. So we'll just take what we get and ride this thing out.
Absolutely.
That's why we got his back. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We have his back 100%. We know any moment Clay can erupt, and then what happens then? All HE double hockey stick breaks loose. So,
did Mr. Lakeup get you good seats tonight?
Huh?
Did you get those good seats for Mr. Lakeup tonight?
Draymond's podied
up. Did Dre get you those good seats tonight? Where are you sitting tonight?
I'm not sure. They haven't sent us our seats yet. And normally in these arenas, everything be sold. So hopefully I got a good seat. I got to have a good seat because I need to be close by because, the fans come at me so.
Well, Mary BabersGreen, we got you back.
So much.
We appreciate the 22 minutes you spent with us. We'll do it again soon. We hope to see you tonight.
Yeah,
it's been a long
be
time. You always show love to us here at 95.7 The Game, and we love you back. We're so excited to see the Warriors back in the NBA Finals going for this 4th championship in the last 8 years. And like you said, we believe Game 3 is going to be a great, great game. So take care. We'll see you later on tonight at TD Garden.
All right, go Warriors.
Let's go. Mary BabersGreen. Unbelievable.
That was unreal.
Unbelievable.